Taman-Pakadan line, which will be asking for fleet operations with the development of port infrastructure at the Volta Lake to receive vessels. These interventions are supported by a strategic partnership with the public sector, mobilizing the investment to make Ghana the preferred transport and logistics hub within the West Africa sub-region and under the African Continental Free Trade Area. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair 2025 is therefore not just an exhibition. It is a national platform for dialogue, innovation, and collaboration. It will showcase the latest vehicles, aviation technologies, shipping solutions, rail concepts, electronic mobility, and digital platforms that are shaping Ghana's transport industry. Excellency, we are happy that we have our students and the general public here to take the opportunity and experience transport well firsthand through engaging exhibitions, product demonstrations, and interactive learning spaces and exciting public experiences. So our students, you are welcome. And at this point, Honorable Chairman, heads of agencies, distinguished guests, I want you to join me to express our sincere appreciation to His Excellency the President for his clear policy direction and visionary leadership that we in transport are enjoying. We are proud when we are at the port, we see improvement. We are proud when we are at the airport, we see improvement. We are proud when we are at DVLA, we see improvement. And we are proud in all our agencies, we see improvement, and that is to one person with his vision that is very clear and leading us on a daily basis. Excellency, on behalf of the Ministry of Transport and our agency heads, we thank you for this guidance you've given to us. And to our agency heads and staff of the Ministry of Transport for your tireless commitment, and Digital Eye, the organizers, for the professional coordination. Special thanks also go to our platinum sponsors, Ghana Link, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our gold sponsors, Ghana Airport Company Limited, Ghana Maritime Authority, Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, as well as all other transport partners, including transport unions, for your contributions that are seen as strengthening this collective vision. Together, let us seize this moment to reset, to renew, and to rise. The future of Ghana's transport sector is being written here and now. Excellency, it begins with us all, and we want to encourage all the private sector and transport unions to continue with this collaboration in seeing us improve upon our
and logistics landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the CEO of Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. You can do better for a strong woman walking to the podium. Thank you very much. Ma'am, welcome.
So I'm not as tall as our Ghana gentleman. So, His Excellency, the President of Ghana, Nana Nom, Minister of Transport, Minister of Tourism, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Yang Yang. I am the CEO of Zonda. How many of you here Zonda? I think maybe 50% of you sitting here directly or indirectly has bought a vehicle from Zonda, a tipper truck, a trailer head, or now a pickup or a saloon car, right? But today I'm standing here to talking to you about Zonda's vision. It's to reset Ghana's transport sector through innovation, connectivity, and investment. Now, Ghana is really at a turning point to change the country. Ghana is developing so fast. I know, Our Excellency, your main focus is building the roads. Now TikTok has made our life so easy. We can follow you everywhere. Even yesterday we follow you. You were inspecting one of the roads. So Ghana, we are rehabilitating the road network. It has brought such a great chance for our sector to develop. Now, Zonda, 19 years ago when I came to Ghana, I think me myself, I'm a good businesswoman because I sensed the opportunity when I was traveling through the country from the south to the north, from the west to the east. I can see a lot of vehicles like the cho-cho, the trucks, the buses. A lot they broke on the road. Nobody was maintaining them. So an idea came out, even though at that time I was penniless. So I was bold enough to go to China, to the factories, to lure them to come to invest in Ghana. I said, Ghana, there must be a change. Look at the roads and look at how the country is developing. Just invest in me so I can make like Senator, your brand great. And because I was doing international communication, I have a beautiful mouth. So the big boss, he believed in me. He immediately invested $1 million for goods and brought to Ghana. So now Zonda, we have over 10 branches and also 3 assembling plants. And but as an entrepreneur, we cannot be satisfied with only training. Like Togbi, you see, you have established the trade center, you have brought the Awa and also San Asogli to Ghana. But you cannot stop here because you want to create value for Ghanaians and you want to create jobs. That is also what I was doing. I want to build more factories in Ghana to lure the Chinese factories to invest. And Our Excellency, you were in China a few days ago. You were luring the Chinese EV car factories to invest in Ghana. I think, at that time, if I have met you before you talk, you must speak for Zonda. Say, invest in Zonda. Because you see, Zonda, we already have the factory here. For all of these factories to look for the land in Ghana and re-establish, it will take them 3 to 5 years. But if they invest in Zonda, it is only 2 months, 3 months. So, Our Excellency, please kindly speak to them to invest in Zonda. So, but last, I want to mention one point. It's about women. I am a woman. I always want to advocate the right for women in the transport sector in Zonda because, we have the factories. Now we are luring more students from KN University, from University of Ghana. They come to do internship in Zonda. Now 40% of the staff in Zonda are female because I strongly believe in women power. So thank you so much. That's all.
Indeed, this is woman power at its best. Thank you so much, Madam CEO, for that inspiring speech. I think we can all appreciate her a bit more. Thank you so much. Auntie Jifa is excited because when she sees women flying high, there's just something, a sparkle that comes in your eye, and it's beautiful. At this point, we'll wait to hear another important message, but we want you to relax, take a deep breath. And that future I talked about, the future of riding a train from Accra to Tamale and the airlines that will connect our cities to the rest of the world. Think about that for a minute whilst we enjoy this music.
Civil Aviation Authority, Reverend Stephen Wilfred Arthur, also in our midst, Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation Prevention Bureau, Ghana Rail Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apo, also here, Volta Lake Transport Company Limited, Mrs. Rose Apia Autry, also here. And so we are excited and we are privileged this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to have in our midst, and of course to appreciate the presence of the President of the Republic of Ghana. Please shall be afternoon to welcome him again to the podium, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Kindly be seated. Can you hear me? All right, thank you. In every country, you have a World Trade Center, which is a significant part of the infrastructure of any country. And this is our World Trade Center for Ghana. I hope, listen to me first. I hope SNIT are here because they own this property. Just as I sat by Togbi Afede, I'm supposed to go upstairs. I hear some of the exhibitions are upstairs. One, the lift is not working. Two, the central air conditioning is broken down. Three, if I want to use Togbi's office, washroom, restroom, there's no water. He has to put a barrel there to contain water. I mean, really, this is not reflective of our World Trade Center. I saw SNIT's budget for next year. They are looking to rehabilitate some of their properties. I'll urge you kindly to add this World Trade Center to the properties you are renovating, because they can host more activities. There are big halls upstairs, but nobody wants to come because you have to climb the stairs all that way to access the hall. So if SNIT are here, please add that to one of your projects for rehabilitation in your budget next year. Let me thank Madam Zonda. I was in China with her, and I want to commend her for the motivation she had to leverage investments into Ghana. I went as an ambassador to attract more investments, foreign direct investment from China into Ghana. What we're trying to do is to establish Ghana as a gateway to Africa. We call it the gateway to Africa. And so we'll create the platform, the hub for manufacturing in Ghana for exports into other countries. I visited the Afinia Industrial Hub, and I was very impressed at what I saw. Many companies have come and set up there and already adopting our 24-hour economy model. There's one of the factories that does textiles, and they have 3 shifts running. So the factory never closes, day and night. And they employ 1,000 people. They've acquired 4 more factory buildings. They want to expand to 5 factory buildings and employ about 5,000 of our young people. And when I went to that particular factory, 90% of the people working there are women. Because as Madam Zonda said, women power. Women are better at running the textiles, spinning and sewing machines than men. And so I want to commend people like her. She, instead of bringing the trucks whole from China, is assembling them here. And so she brings the knockdown components and employs Ghanaians to bring the truck together with the same quality as she would have brought it from China. And so what we're doing to reward them is also to channel government spending power, because government's budget is more than 200 billion cedis a year. And so if we have to procure trucks, we have to procure tipper trucks, I think that the first priority should be to procure them from companies that are assembling those vehicles here. Madam Zonda, the company I met, GAC, they say they're going to send a delegation down. So when they come out, direct them to you so that you and them can decide how to partner and invest in Ghana. So thank you very much. Let me acknowledge our chairman, Togbi Afede, the 14th, the overlord of the Asogli State, and then our Honorable Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukai Likpe, who's also the Member of Parliament for Sabova, and then also our Minister for Tourism and Creative Arts, Jifa, who is also MP for Ketu South. I want to thank all of you for your kind invitation to be part of this program, and it gives me great pride to welcome all of you to the inaugural edition of the Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair 2025, which is being held under the theme Resetting Ghana's Transport Sector for Improved Connectivity, Innovation and Investment, and is driven by the slogan Driving Connectivity, Innovation and Sustainable Growth for Ghana's Future. This landmark event is more than just a gathering of stakeholders. It is a bold statement of intent, and it reflects our shared determination to reset and transform Ghana's transport and logistics system, focusing on modernity, innovation, safety, and sustainability. Transport, as everyone knows, is the lifeblood of every economy. It links people to opportunities, opens markets for goods and services, and boosts productivity, and also promotes inclusive national development. A country's competitiveness is often assessed by how efficiently people and goods can move across its territory, and that is why this fair is both timely and informative. As outlined in our manifesto of 2024 and the Reset Agenda, my administration is fully committed to building a safe, accessible, and technology-driven transport system that creates jobs, promotes trade, and aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals and the African Union's Agenda 2063. Our priorities are clear and ambitious. We are modernizing Ghana's rail, road, maritime, and aviation systems, while enhancing intermodal connectivity to ensure that passengers and freight move seamlessly across our country and across our sub-region. We're utilizing digital platforms and data systems to streamline logistics, improve transparency, and enhance service delivery, especially for haulage, warehousing, and port operations. Simultaneously, we're working to decarbonize transport, expand electric mobility infrastructure, and promote climate-smart investments that lower emissions and protect the environment. Similarly, we're establishing a strong regulatory framework to oversee the safe and responsible operation of motorcycles and tricycles, which are popularly referred to as Okada, for fare-paying passenger service, while also expanding the reach of affordable and efficient mass public transport systems. All these are within a framework that emphasizes safety, orderliness, and sustainability. And therefore, this fair marks a significant milestone in our national journey. It is not only a platform for exhibition and networking, but also for dialogue, innovation, and partnership between the public and the private sectors. The Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair perfectly aligns with our broader goal of establishing Ghana as the transport and logistics hub of West Africa. This is in full harmony with the opportunities that are generated by the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, whose secretariat is based right here in Accra. With enhanced port efficiency, modern rail connectivity, expanded airport infrastructure, efficient road transport, and digital logistics system, Ghana can and will become the gateway for efficient trade and movement of goods and services across our sub-region. I wish to commend the Minister for Transport, the Honorable Joseph Bukai Likpe, and his team, including the heads of agencies under the ministry, for turning this transformative vision into reality. And as the Minister said, we're investing in all segments of our transport sector, in order to make more efficient the movement of passengers and goods across our country. Just yesterday, I cut the sword for the dualization of the Cape Coast Takoradi Road and other segments from Accra to Kaswa, Kaswa to Winneba, Winneba to Mankesim, Mankesim to Cape Coast have been awarded on contract to different contractors. When this road is finished, transport along that corridor, the length of time that you use commuting along that corridor would improve by 50%. You cut down the time you use to travel to Cape Coast or Takoradi by 50% just because of the modernization and dualization of the corridor. We're also working with the Ghana Railway Development Authority to develop the various segments of the railway master plan. Already the Tema Akosombo line is in place. What is left is to build the port on the Volta Lake and then to procure the barges that will move the containers and the goods from Akosombo to Buipe in the north, so that our northern landlocked Sahelian neighbors don't have to drive all the way to Tema to pick their items. They'll come to Buipe and pick them and continue. The aviation sector is operating quite well, even though I know they have some challenges, and I've received several petitions from Togbi Apedes Awa and also Passion Air about some incentives we can give them to improve, their service. But so far, airports that are operational include Wa Airport, Sunyani Airport, Tamale Airport, and Accra Airport, of course, for domestic travel. And people are taking advantage of it and being able to move swiftly by the domestic airlines. I'm receiving the reports for the establishment of the national airline. All of us were very proud about Ghana Airways. Unfortunately, it was liquidated because of a debt of $80 million, even though its assets exceeded $400 million. I think that was a grievous mistake we did to have let our national airline go down. We are looking for partnerships to re-establish the airline, of course, with the private sector, because we believe that private sector efficiency is important if we are to run a successful airline. Government will take an equity stake, but be a minority holder and give management to whichever private sector investor that we partner with. As for the maritime sector, our partnership with MPS has proved very, very successful. From the early 1960s, we had the old Tema Port, and with the increasing amount of maritime traffic, the old Tema Port was no longer fit for purpose. In order to expand it, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority entered into a partnership with MPS in the old port to build a new berth. And when they entered into partnership with MPS, that berth was the most efficient berth in the old Tema Port. And yet, with the efficiency of the MPS berth, still there was a long queue of ships that had to wait for days and weeks to be able to come into our port and offload. And so I challenged the partners, MPS partners, that's Meridian Port Services, that includes GPHA and their partners, APM Mola, Bolloré at the time, and Maersk. I challenged them why they wouldn't build a new port, because we had gotten to the limit of expanding the old port. And with that challenge, they took up the challenge and decided that they will build for us a new port off our balance sheet. I want to let you know that that new Tema port cost government of Ghana nothing. There's been a lot of misinformation. I sold the port. How can you sell a port that didn't exist? And yet, GPHA and their partners went onto the credit market and borrowed almost $1 billion to establish that new port we have. And today is the most efficient port in the whole of West Africa, actually along the whole of the Gulf Coast. Ghana has the most efficient port. We are receiving the biggest ships ever built in the world coming into our port. And they come and lighten, take off goods that are meant sometimes for Lagos, for Lome and other places. And then we have to use smaller vessels to deliver those containers to the other countries. And that is bringing more jobs into our port. And so I want to commend GPHA and their partners, MPS, for the good job that you're doing. And they continue to invest. They haven't stopped. And so government will work with you. Let me extend my appreciation to Digital Eye, the organizers of this fair, to all the sponsors and exhibitors who have exhibited their items here, our development and private sector partners, and the transport and logistics associations whose commitment continues to foster innovation and professionalism in the sector. Your collaboration reflects the best of Ghana, a nation that flourishes when government and businesses work together for the public good. And so, as we gather under this roof to shape the next chapter of Ghana's transport development, let us remember that every road, every rail, every ship, and every aircraft is part of a single story. It is the story of Ghana's national progress. Together, let us enhance connectivity, let us promote innovation, and achieve sustainable growth for future generations. And let us develop a transport and logistics system that genuinely advances Ghana efficiently, safely, and inclusively. And so on that note, I have the pleasure and honor to declare officially the Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair duly open.
Thank you very much. Absolutely grateful. Please, shall we please once again welcome the President as he takes a seat. Let me also take the opportunity to announce the President of the Ghana Airport Company Limited, CEO, Mrs. Yvonne Nana Efrio Pari, the Volta Lake Transport Company Limited, the CEO, Honorable Angela Ifua Alao Ofriwa Te, also here. Now we invite our Minister, the deputies, for a photograph with the President.
The President and the Minister will take to that spot over there where the table was just evacuated. All honorable ministers kindly join His Excellency the President and the Transport Minister for this photo opportunity. The chairman for the occasion, the Digital Togbe Ahwede, will also join. If there are any deputy ministers here, please stand by. You will join the photo op next. Deputy ministers, kindly take your positions with the President for this photo opportunity next.
Please also be on standby. The chairperson, and of course we are looking at the partners, sponsors, but first the agencies.
The deputies, please join the photo opportunity now, please. Deputy ministers, we'll invite the CEOs of the agencies gathered here to please join the team.
Ghana Maritime Authority, Ghana Shippers Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, DVLA, National Road Safety Authority, Intercity, STC, Metromas, Ghana Airport Company, Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Aircraft Incident and Accident Investigation and Prevention Bureau, Ghana Rail Development Authority, Volta Lake Transport Company, Regional Maritime University, PSC Tema Shipyard. All the CEOs, some of the board members who are here can also join.
We'll invite our sponsors to also take a photo op with the President and the Minister, the team. Our sponsors for this function, especially the platinum sponsors, GPHA, Ghana Link Network Services, Rona Motors, Zondatech, please join. Gold sponsor, Ghana Airport Company Limited, please join. Ghana Maritime Authority, Rock Africa. Our platinum and gold sponsors, please join the President for this photo op.
Uber.
Our silver sponsors, please stand by for this opportunity. Uber Ghana. Rona Motors, are you here? Rona Motors, are you here? Excellent.
Tiger, well, again, we are also inviting our organizers, Digital Eye.
Your Excellency, with your permission, if I may, with the MCs just us. We have two strong MCs and a guy. If we may, with your indulgence, take this photo opportunity with you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Program, but this is no way over. There will be a guided tour for His Excellency, the team. Kindly rise to your feet as His Excellency and the team set off on this guided tour. This is the World Trade Center. There's a lot to offer. There's a lot on offer as well. All the agencies have mounted podiums and they have logistics and other things to share with you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Minister for Transport, Honorable May, thank you, Honorable Ablanji Fagomashi, thank you, all our platinum, gold and silver sponsors. We are truly very grateful for your company and for each and every one of you who made time to join us for this program today. We are honored to have steered the affairs until now. Like we say, the program is not over. His Excellency will engage with as many of you as he can, time allowing, and then we'll get into the exhibitions that have been mounted for your benefit.
Ladies and gentlemen, outside the exhibitions, let's be reminded that there are going to be breakout and dialogue sessions headed by and led by experts in the sport. So please take advantage and join them in the breakout sessions as well.
This to go on until Friday. There are exciting things to look forward to. We'll put you on a treasure hunt, and if you're successful, you walk away with a brand new car. So you don't want to leave the premises. From now until Friday, the World Trade Center is going to bring you some incredible experiences, and we want you to enjoy every single bit of it. The organizers have gone in and out to ensure that you will absolutely enjoy the experience. So do not go away. Do come again and enjoy what's on offer at the first ever Ghana's Transport and Logistics Fair 2025 from the World Trade Center in Accra.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Maiden Transport and Logistics Fair is also offering free flights over Accra and other parts of Ghana. And let's also be reminded that we are going to have free boat rides. So please go ahead and register at the various points so that you can enjoy these free flights and free boat rides as well.
We appreciate all of you who made your way here, especially those who stayed even when they could not deliver their short statements for the President, members of the diplomatic corps, ambassadors of development partner countries and their representatives, the Chamber of Automobile Dealership Ghana, the Freight Forwarders and Logistics Operators Association, representatives of transport unions, GPRTU, Okada Riders Association, Ride-Hailing App Services, Uber, His Royal Majesty Togbe Akwede Agbogbo-Mefia of Asogli State, Minister for Roads and Highways, Transport Minister, Minister for Culture, Tourism and Creative Arts, the CEOs of our platinum providers and sponsors, Ghana Link Network Services Limited, Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, Rona Motors, and Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. Sincere appreciation to all our other partners for helping make this dream a reality. Also ongoing, and you are welcome to listen in on any of those sessions. They will be happening across the World Trade Center in different auditoriums, so do listen in on some of the insightful conversations that will be had. Also remember that at this fair there is an opportunity for you to get a free flight over Accra and other parts of Ghana. I know you'll be excited about that. Find out from our ushers how you can join. Free flights over Accra will be happening. Free boat rides will also be happening. And you'll want to sample all those experiences and adventures right here at Ghana's Maiden Transport and Logistics Fair. Thank you so much for your company this morning and this afternoon. My name is Thelma Taki.
My name is Benjamin Willie Graham.
Yes, I hear some answer my question.
And we have been your MCs for this function. Have a good afternoon.
Car number GB334-21. Please, can you kindly move so others can move? Thank you. GB33421. You blocked someone. Thank you.
The opportunity to go around and see what's on offer. There are electronic vehicles outside. You can go and see what is there. His Excellency the President is engaging with some of the exhibitors as we speak. Do go through the fairgrounds and see what's on offer.
Zonda on flights. Zonda ensuring that there will be a lot of investment to their work in Ghana. Zonda Tech, the power of a woman, marketing, advertising, selling the brand of Zonda to the president. She was very, very great. So, particularly exciting moment there for Zonda as the CEO continued to take the president on tour to inspect some of their spectacular EV automobile in Ghana. This is the first ever transport and logistics fair. The electronic sector is also not being left out. The electronic vehicle, there's going to be free helicopter ride. There'll be a lot of interesting high-tech events that'll be happening within today and Friday. The dialogue sessions will also encapsulate a lot of very important topical issues that affect our daily transport business, the transport ecosystem. And so you don't have to miss out. This is where innovators, investors, academics, researchers, all of them gather to see to the growth of the transport ecosystem in Ghana.
You're still witnessing the guided tour of the exhibition pavilions by His Excellency the President. He's been accompanied by Ministers of State and members of the diplomatic corps. His Excellency is interacting with car dealerships. He will also meet logistics firms, technology innovators, and startups. All these companies are set up outside in the forecourt of the World Trade Center in Accra. Ghana's transport industry is set to transform. This is the Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair 2025. The exhibitions are open to the general public. So from wherever you are in Accra, if you're interested, you can come through and see what's on offer for yourself from the car dealerships and logistic firms, the technology innovators and startups. All of them are set up outside.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from to be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it away, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
I just want to hear. Welcome to season 2 of Play by Ear. Make some noise. This is the only show. All you need is your ear to win some cash.
When
I say play by ear, what you say?
Auntie Saba, a woman body ma, and came Guana Moba.
Oh, who said, and I made the SMS. Cannon pan, Nasana, Michiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters.
No, more benefiting.
Me benefiting wine. What's what told dear?
Abrewa, the smama, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules, Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules.
Assembly,
a devil when Amawani, I say.
Senior Nami wife complain one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, and tea. Say, see, I'm passway.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Many genius from Debefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de poor hauno. Edroba kupa wihiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Yes, you ma uya obesima. Edno you benya bi obebia eton robia. Kingdom Heba. No challenger.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey him later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from to be luckiest. From not the pure cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
God Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Need your attention, please. Mnet Movies 4 brings you Action HQ.
Before I describe the job, I have to know you can do it.
The movie festival where action never clocks out.
1, 2, 3.
Go! Business as usual means fist first, questions later. We don't do spreadsheets.
Some car keys, a couple guns.
We do high speeds.
Put your foot to that floor and you press.
Our management style, very hands-on. Water cooler chats, surprisingly inspirational.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
This October, Mnet Movies 4 is mission control for mayhem.
Complete destruction.
It's home base for heroics. It's Action HQ. Consider your couch the corner office of chaos. This is not a drill. Report to Action HQ all month long on Mnet Movies 4, where action never clocks out.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night, a night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th, a citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing by divine encounters, miracles, and transformation on October 31st. Meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power, and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isehene, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus, because Jesus is our victory.
Edru ho.
Afi Odra afasheno ebeye krabeshe Ignite Media Odra yakabo mu de enipa bebre ena ema afi afasheno
Enunti kaye ho Metro TV, Original TV, Original 91.9 FM. Jerry free ani die na se el mampon hu afashe na se ne ne adofo ene mamponfo nyina anom asafonsa akosiem ewo OPK joint eda eye 12th October to 19th October enumre bia
na woni bibi efie da no ye de grand deba no ebebreu ehonum na ye bedan amamre ne amane di enkabomo edema ekuapeman ye wie soso a ne ye de games ahihye so enti bra na be kire wo bobre se wo betimi aye games ni bi
na ne memne dan so eye 25th no so no uni abo James say asset ye di bo fufu party bremo uni ade ohia ne wayewa ene wo chensin fabra na bedidi free
we catch you say afi so wentimi ambepie mu ewo Ignite Media Odra afahye we yasia ene na wayo ho
enunti kaye ho bayo fa Odra afahye no ense so shenon so say some spices any jojo carbonated vodka mix and a soya semi di jumadi ebrel
Odra
safe to save bam.
That occurred last week with respect to the Nole Purusokwai filed in the Dufour case, in the Republic versus Governor Dufour and 7 others. And then also to update you on the ongoing investigations and prosecutions that I have initiated. But before I go into the details, I would want to first of all apologize for the fact that we had advertised that I was going to update you on a major investigation that has taken place that adopt the rumble in the jungle. You will recall that when I announced the investigation of the Kobina Iduboahin case, I ended up by saying that if you thought that case was a trailer in Manila, then wait for the rumble in the jungle. And so the rumble in the jungle was supposed to be today, but unfortunately, after the press release from my office in the Dufour case, significant public commentary, some of it adverse, others very positive, came into play. And I decided that it is, as part of the accountability and transparency series, it is important for me to, provide details because certain misimpressions were created, which are not accurate when it comes to the decision that I have taken. So I want to provide details on that. And then I'll update you on what we are doing, myself, my deputy, and the team at the AG's department with respect to the prosecutions. So, ladies and gentlemen of the media, my fellow countrymen and women, I am here this morning to account to the sovereign people of Ghana, as has been my practice since assuming office as Attorney General. Today, I will do two things. Firstly, I will provide further details on my decision to enter a Nole Purusokwai in the case of the Republic versus Governor Dufour and 7 others. And secondly, give an update on the ongoing investigations and prosecutions that I have initiated upon assuming office as Attorney General. On Tuesday, 22nd July 2025, I took the decision to enter a nolle prosequi in the case of the Republic versus Kobina Dufour and 7 others. This decision effectively brought to an end the criminal trial of Dr. Kobina Dufour, a former governor of the Bank of Ghana and former Minister for Finance. I took that decision after a prolonged period of negotiations with my team of state attorneys, including the Director of Public Prosecutions and the receiver of Unibank on the one side. The team on the other side was made up of Dr. Dufour, the shareholders, directors and managers of Unibank, and the receiver. As part of my constitutional duty to account to you, my fellow countrymen, I wish to provide further details on my decision for 2 reasons. First, I have always maintained that as your Attorney General, I owe you a duty to act transparently. Second, I think it is important to dispel certain misimpressions that arose as a result of the rather terse press release that are issued following the filing of the nolle prosequi. My fellow countrymen and women, in March this year, the lawyers for the Unibank directors and shareholders approached me with a proposal of their clients' intention to settle their indebtedness to Unibank. In response, I convened a meeting on the 25th of March with them, representatives, and the receiver of Unibank, Mr. Ni Amano Dodu. At the meeting, it became obvious to both parties that a reconciliation of Unibank's account with the Bank of Ghana should be conducted. Therefore, I authorized the receiver to engage in the reconciliation exercise with them to determine the full scope of Unibank's exposure. I directed that the parties adopt a holistic approach that combined liabilities under both the criminal proceedings and the ongoing civil proceedings, because they were obviously interrelated, in order to reach a unified resolution that will bring closure to all related matters. The objective was to assess the feasibility of a comprehensive settlement. The charges in the criminal case against the accused persons involved a total amount, and this is very important, a total amount of 1.2 billion Ghana cedis, not 5.7, as is being bandied about from certain quarters whose names I would not want to mention. While the civil case involved a total exposure of 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the media, if you conduct your research in the High Court, you realize that the receiver subsequently amended the writ of summons and the statement of claim and revised the civil liability down to 2.8 billion Ghana cedis. Okay? So that is on record. That's a public record, and whoever wants to contest this is at liberty to go to the High Court and then, do so. It is important to state for the avoidance of doubt that the total exposure in the criminal case is part of the total civil case exposure. In other words, the 1.2 billion is not in addition to or on top of the 5.7 billion, which was revised down to 2.8 billion. The charges in the criminal case against the accused persons involved a total liability. No, sorry, I think I'm repeating myself. Now, the 5.7 billion was made up of the following. That is from the initial, stage of the case. 2 billion being loans and advances which Unibank made to related and connected parties. 3.7 billion being payments made on behalf of or on the instructions of the accused persons. Included in A and B above, however, was an amount of 2.1 billion which was alleged to be fictitious loans, to have comprised fictitious loans and fictitious transactions booked by Unibank prior to replacement in official administration. During the reconciliation exercise, The accused persons objected to the inclusion of the 2.1 billion on the grounds that the amount did not involve any direct cash outflows which could be recovered. The accused persons also objected to the inclusion of placements of 0.3 billion, that is 300 million, made to Unisecurities. Now, Unisecurities is a SEC, that is a Securities and Exchange Commission regulated, not a Bank of Ghana regulated, related company that had been placed in liquidation and for which a claim had been filed with the official liquidator. In other words, the money was to be recovered. The recovery of this amount is being pursued independently through insolvency proceedings with the official liquidator of that entity. In summary, the above matters led to the revision of the previously reported exposure of 5.7 billion down to 3.3 billion, which comprise the following: the exclusion of 2.1 billion in the alleged fictitious amounts booked to the account of the shareholder which did not involve cash outflows. In other words, monies didn't go out to anybody. These were just book entries that were designed to make the books of Unibank look good. That is how come that in the criminal case, the charge of falsification of accounts was brought against them. So they did not loot the money. They did not give the money to anybody. They just made entries that were meant to give Bank of Ghana, the central bank, the impression that the bank was doing well. Okay? Then the exclusion of 0.3 billion relating to Unibank's placement with a SEC-regulated, SEC-regulated related company currently in receivership, which is being pursued separately through the insolvency proceedings. After prolonged negotiations, the accused persons, by a letter dated 7th May 2025, made a proposal to settle the revised outstanding obligation of 3.3 billion Ghana cedis through a structured approach. The accused persons offered to pay 2 billion Ghana cedis in full and final settlement of the outstanding obligations through the following arrangements: 800 million worth of assets to be transferred directly to Unibank, which is in receivership, which will now make that available to the Bank of Ghana. And then their active cooperation and participation to assist the receiver to recover an additional 1.2 billion from the direct beneficiaries paid out on their instructions. Out of the above arrangements, the accused persons have provided landed properties valued at 824 million Ghana cedis to Unibank. That is, in receivership. Further, in other words, indirectly to the Bank of Ghana or the Republic of Ghana. Further, the accused persons will be responsible for any shortfall in the proceeds realized from the sale of the landed properties. A total of 0.5 billion has to date been recovered out of the 1.2 billion being pursued from the direct beneficiaries. Recovery of the remaining balance of 0.7 billion out of the 1.2 billion Ghana cedis and the realization of the landed properties provided are expected to be completed over a timeline of 18 months. Although the preference would have been for me and my team for the accused person to settle the proposed amount in cash, immediate settlement in cash was not, from my sense of what transpired at the negotiations, a realistic possibility or a realistic option. In assessing the proposal submitted by the lawyers for the accused persons, I took into account the following factors. The receiver of Unibank acknowledged that the fictitious amounts totaling 2.1 billion did not result from cash outflows, but related to accounting entries that overstated the asset base of the bank, which predated Unibank's placement in official administration. B, a claim for the placement of 0.3 billion with the SEC-regulated entity was filed by the receiver with the official liquidator in 2019, and its recovery is being pursued separately through the insolvency process. 3, both the criminal and civil cases have persisted over 6 years with no immediate resolution in sight. The complex nature of the legal proceedings has significantly delayed any meaningful recovery. Now, come to think of it, those who instituted the criminal proceedings did not foresee the possibility down the line of recovering assets and never engage in any asset, recovery process. They did not trace, to find out what assets were in the hands of third parties, including those who were in court. So while the criminal prosecution was intended to serve as a punitive and deterrent measure, it is through the civil process that actual recovery of funds is effectively pursued. The accused person's proposal fell within the receiver's mandate to maximize recoveries for Unibank in order to settle the bank's creditors, mainly Government of Ghana and some institutions. There is also a genuine risk that prolonged litigation could ultimately lead to lower net recovery, especially when accounting for legal costs, procedural delays, the time value of money, and the potential dissipation or concealment of assets. By contrast, the current arrangement secures the timely resolution or recovery of over 800 million Ghana cedis in assets and establishes a structured pathway for recovering an additional 1.2 billion Ghana cedis with the active cooperation of the accused persons. On the other hand, should the matter have continued in court, it would likely have faced prolonged delays, including multiple procedural applications, adjournments, and appeals. Even if judgment were eventually obtained in either the civil or criminal proceedings, enforcement and execution could take years, further deferring any meaningful recovery. It is clear from the foregoing that I took a pragmatic, holistic approach by engaging the receiver and the accused persons to broker a resolution that settles both the criminal and civil dimensions of the case. This strategy recognizes that while criminal proceedings are punitive, the real economic value to the state lies in a non-conviction-based asset recovery approach. The terms of the settlement are structured to ensure that the Attorney General, the Bank of Ghana, the Minister of Finance exercise oversight over the recovery of the negotiated amounts. Progress under the agreement will be subject to quarterly reviews to ensure that the accused persons fulfill their obligations as agreed. Ladies and gentlemen of the media and my fellow countrymen and women, it is important to correct certain misunderstandings or distortions, deliberate in some cases, that our team picked from the media space regarding this matter. Since my press release, it has been said that by setting a minimum threshold of 60% for the recovery of assets as a condition for filing a nolle prosequi or terminating the banking sector cases, I have cut a deal which permits persons who have stolen or looted public funds to walk away with 40% of the loot. At least that is the narrative, by some sections of, the Ghanaian populace, particularly from our opponents in the MPP who were responsible for all this mess. Indeed, one writer on Facebook compared my decision to the situation where someone has stolen 6 goods and is being told by the prosecutor to return 4 goods and keep the 2. But my fellow countrymen and women, now this may seem like a joke, but it's a very serious expression of the sense of justice of our community. And it is something that I have used, to, get people who have come to me for plea deals to jerk them to think about the community's sense of justice. So, it is not lost on me, and I wasn't surprised when I read this on Facebook. But the goat thief analogy, intriguing though it may be, is an oversimplification of the matter. This is why. First, Dr. Kobina Dufour and the other persons standing trial were not charged with stealing or looting of public funds. They were charged with causing financial loss to the state, fraudulent breach of trust, falsification of accounts, as I have pointed out earlier, dishonestly receiving, and money laundering. But the facts and the evidence supporting these charges never allege that those standing trial personally benefited from the banking transactions that gave rise to these charges. Now, it's important to make clear that when someone is charged with for instance, causing financial loss to the state, all right, it does not imply from a criminal liability point of view that they took the resources that have been lost. In other words, what we seek to do when we charge someone with causing financial loss to the state is to prove that they either intentionally or recklessly or negligently cause the state to lose resources or to lose funds. All right. Now, those of you who are old enough to remember the Quality Grain case, which came, and went all the way to the Supreme Court, involving the former Deputy Minister of Finance, Victor Salome, and a number of NDC officials in the Rawlings regime. You will remember that in that case, Justice Afre was at pains to point out that though the accused persons had been convicted of the offense of causing financial loss to the state, they had not been convicted of stealing. They had not been convicted of personally benefiting from, the actions that were the subject matter of the criminal charges. All right. We must also understand that though the charge of fraudulent breach of trust is closely related to the charge of stealing. The facts and the evidence didn't show, okay, that in this particular case, they fraudulently breached their trust because they stood to benefit. Okay, they entered into transactions with third parties, okay, which pointed to the fact that according to the case that was filed, they were trustees of depositors' funds. Now, which in itself is legally contestable, right? Because the banker-customer relationship is not one of trusteeship. It is one of contract. Now, that is legally, established in case law. There are case law precedents to the effect that that relationship is not one of trusteeship. So when someone deposits their money in a bank, all right, they are not keeping the money, they are not giving the money to the bank to be held in trust. Okay? So that if that were the case, then the beneficiary would be the one dictating how the monies, should be used. But banks are at liberty, because it's a contractual relation, a commercial relationship, at liberty to lend the monies, do, banking transactions with those funds in the way that they see fit, but in a prudential manner. Okay? So the basic point I'm trying to make is that these charges were themselves legally contestable. All right? Second, the analogy assumes that these charges, that is the goat thief analogy, assumes that these charges could be proven beyond reasonable doubt. On the contrary, the record shows that the charges were contestable, and there was a high likelihood that the defense could have raised sufficient doubt to procure an acquittal. And if that happened, as seen from the Beige Capital case, I would not have been able to recover even one cedi. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the media and my fellow countrymen and women, when I did the press release, I did not mention Beige Capital because at that point in time, I did not know that the decision was coming down. Now, as Providence would have it, the decision came a day after, right? I can now disclose that Beige Capital offered me or my office 10 million Ghana cedis. You can ask the lawyers for Beige Capital. Ask lawyer, Tadio Sori. They offered 10 million Ghana cedis in settlement, and I refused. Today, I can't get 50 pesos from Beige Capital. So the dynamics are complex. Those who are oversimplifying it and saying this is the goat, thief scenario, must understand that, it is more complex than just saying that the Attorney General says bring 4 goats and then keep 2. Third, by the time I assumed office and was approached by the lawyers for the accused persons, no asset tracing had been undertaken and no freezing orders had been obtained by my predecessors who filed the criminal charges. I could have been faced with a situation where the thief would have eaten 4 of the goats, thus leaving me with only one possibility, to recover only 2 goats. All right? In other words, assets depreciate. and may even disappear before a diligent prosecutor can lay hands on them. Now, those of you who have followed developments in the, the tracing and recovery of the assets of General Sani Abacha, you remember him, the Nigerian military leader who died, I think, in 1998. Okay? You will realize that, I mean, he shipped a lot of the assets overseas, mostly to Switzerland and other parts of Europe and the United States. As we speak, okay, from 1998 till now, the recovery process is still ongoing. And even with the sophistication of the Swiss authorities and the US authorities in collaboration with Nigerian authorities, recovery is still ongoing. So it is more complicated, than that. For people to think that it is just a question of the goats sitting there and for the Attorney General to say, bring all 6 goats back. But as I have crudely put it, if 4 of the goats have been used for light soup, how do you expect me, to retrieve the goats? Of course, jailing the person is also part of the process of accountability. And I do understand when Ghanaians say we should, jail them. But if we focus on the recovery, it will be very illusionary for anyone to think that the Attorney General or the Republic can recover 100% in every case. In some cases, I may be lucky, or let me say the state will be lucky if the assets are still there, they've not depreciated, they are there in full, and I can lay hands on them. That is how come that, if you have noticed since I came into office, we have always investigated the criminal conduct together with tracing the proceeds of crime. There has been no, except in the National Service case, there has been no major announcement of investigation that has not included the assets of the criminal enterprise. And in the National Service case, I want to let you understand that. You remember that the 4th Estate broke the story. Okay? The 4th Estate broke the story in October. The people who were involved knew that ultimate accountability will be exacted. So they would have, as rational actors, do you expect that the luxury cars they bought, the houses they acquired, all the assets, the bank accounts would still be staying intact, waiting for the prosecutor to come and then lay hands on them? No. So we are doing asset tracing in that case. But it has been very difficult because they started the process of hiding their assets way back in October 2024. But yet, we are coming upon a number of them, and I will make those available at the right time. Lastly, in respect of the case at hand, 100% recovery was not possible, and a conviction was not guaranteed. In the circumstances, my team and I agreed to set a realistic threshold of 60% recovery. Sorry. We recovered 824 million worth of assets, which will be handed over to the state, and establish a structured pathway for recovering the additional 1.2 billion Ghana cedis through the civil, process. And these are monies that are being held by third parties that owed Unibank, including, for instance, and I think that this is very important, contractors owed Unibank at the time that it was placed in administration 2.9 billion Ghana cedis. Unibank made overtures to the state to say, look, the Minister of Finance, pay the contractors and let the contractors, because they will be paid through our bank, we can take the 2.9 billion and we can satisfy, our books will, improve, and we can stay afloat as a bank. The then Minister of Finance flatly rejected that and put the, and with the help of the Bank of Ghana, put Unibank into the situation in which we find. The Honorable Atuforsen has used the money to revive it, for it to keep jobs and then continue to operate in the, in the bank. Update on the investigations and prosecutions that are currently underway. Trials have commenced in the case of the Republic versus Kobina Idubohe and 3 others, and that of the Republic versus Solomon Asamoah and another. That is the SkyTrain case. In the Kobina Idubohe case, we are calling only 3 prosecution witnesses. Our first witness has concluded his testimony. but for the third accused person's sudden withdrawal in open court of her lawyer's service, our first witness would have been discharged to give way to the second prosecution witness to start testifying. We expect our second witness to start testifying before the beginning of the legal vacation on July 31st, 2025. In the SkyTrain trial, we have concluded the case management conference. It is important to add that, but for the change of solicitors and the multiple medical excuses of the second accused person, that is Prof. Ameyaw Ekumfi, and recently of the lawyer for the first accused person, we would have called 2 of the 6 witnesses by now. That notwithstanding, the trial in the SkyTrain case is expected to start before the beginning of the legal vacation. The National Service Authority scandal case was due to be filed last week, as promised, when we stumbled upon evidence of malfeasance involving an account at the Bank of Ghana to which had been transferred an amount of 189 million Ghana cedis. Out of this amount, 80 million Ghana cedis cannot be traced. But we found 2 checks bearing the name and account details of the former Director General, Mr. Osei Asibe, which had been used to withdraw funds totaling a little under 2 million Ghana cedis from the said account. We have therefore halted the filing of charges so as to await the receipt of the evidence from the relevant state agencies, including the Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance, and the Controller and Accountant General's Department. In fact, as I speak, the Bank of Ghana signaled to me that this morning they are going to deliver the entire, bank statement, for my attention. I am, however, thank you. I'm not coming to give hearsay evidence. People who were involved, okay, and we are, in negotiations with them and their lawyers. As a precondition, I tell them, you bring back the money that we have calculated that you took, you serve as a prosecution witness. That is the approach that we are using. Now, I'm sure the MPP will be very happy for me to insist that 100% be returned to the Attorney General before any deal can be, cut. Now, a report on the docket for the oral cases, including the mathematical sets, the All Africa Games, and the DRIP scandals are being prepared by the National Investigation Bureau for my attention. I expect to receive that investigative report in a few weeks for work to begin on filing charges in court. The Economic and Organized Crime Office has completed investigations in respect of Wontumi, Chairman Wontumi, and the former National Buffer Stock Company CEO, Mr. Abdul Wahab Hanan, and their accomplices. The results of both investigations will be announced very soon. The police CID have also completed a docket on the Akunta mining case and submitted same to my office. We have prepared charges and sent them back to the police CID for the suspects to be formally charged before their arraignment in court in the coming days. To recover the loot, which is to recover all the loot. But of course, you use all advisedly, because as I have pointed out clearly, it is not in all cases that it is possible to recover all the loot. So you recover some, realistically possible. Of course, recovering the loot and jailing looters are not mutually exclusive. And I believe that that is what citizens are pushing for. In other words, both can take place, and that will be full-fledged accountability. But anyone familiar with the plea
Excellence our hallmark. My name is Lady Beatrice, President of the Just Born Ladies Club. October is here, and we all know that October has been dedicated worldwide as a month for breast cancer awareness. So this year, in partnership with Original TV, Metro TV, and Original FM, we are bringing you something big and something new. So join us on the 31st of October 2025 at 10 a.m. at the AMA Gardens for us to network, get screened, and get educated on the month of October. It promises to be an amazing day for all ladies within the Just Born group of companies. And yes, your kids are not left alone. We have the Kids Corner. We have fun activities like the live band and Bobobo group. Come, let's get screened. Come, let's get educated. Come and let's network. Jolak, excellence, our hallmark.
Edru ho.
Afi odra afahye no ebeye krabehye Ignite Media odra yaka bomu de enipa bebre ena emaw afi afahye no
Enum ti kai ho Metro TV, Original 91.9 FM. Jerry Free ni je na se mampon hu afahye na se ne ani adofo ene mamponfo nyina anom asafonsa akohiem ewo OPK joint eda eye 12th October to 19th October enwumre bia
na woni bibi efie da no ye de grand deba no ebebrɛw ehonum na ye bedan amamre ne amane di enkabomo edema ekuapeman ye wie soso a ne ye de games ahyehyɛ so enti bra ne bekyerɛ wo bobre se wo betimi aye games ni bi
na ne memne dan so a eye 25th no so no uni abo James say asset ye de bo fufu party bremo uni ade ohia no warewa ene wo chance fabra ne bedidi free
mi catch you say afi se wentimi ambepie mu ewo Ignite Media odra afahye we yasia ene na wayo ho
enu ntikae ho bayo fa odra afahye no ense so channel so say some spices and jojo carbonated vodka mix and a soya semi de jumadi ebrel odra safe to safe bam.
Hello? I've told you to stop calling my phone. As a matter of fact, I'm taking my fiancé to go see my parents today. Yes, the reason I'm telling you this is so that you stop calling me.